The Rodney King beating and the explosive unrest that followed will change policing in the Southland. As the old guard steps down, a new guard prepares to make sweeping changes. Meet two new police chiefs who are already making a difference in their communities.
We're going to be different, more articulate, I think, more visible, more community-oriented than the police chiefs in the past in order to succeed.
It's so important to me how police officers treat people, because I know from experience that people can accept a lot as long as it's explained to them what the reason is for the contact or the intervention.
I'm Sandra Ginn. What's it like to be a Southern California top cop? Next on Life and Times.
I could not believe that those jurors did not see the same thing that the rest of us on the planet saw.
It's been hard for Pasadena Police Chief Jerry Oliver to accept what happened in the police beating of Rodney King.
Were you ashamed to be a cop at that moment?
No, I wasn't ashamed. I was embarrassed, I think, and that's different. I was embarrassed for the profession. I was embarrassed that the officers were so out of control. I was embarrassed that the policies, the procedures, the training, the insights, the cultural sensitivities, all of the things that we thought that we had made some advances in, that went up in smoke. I, Jerry Oliver,
do solemnly affirm.
Do solemnly affirm.
Before coming to Pasadena, Oliver had devoted most of his law enforcement career to bridging relations between communities and the police.
We're going to be different, more articulate, I think, more visible, more community-oriented than the police chiefs in the past in order to succeed. It won't be because that's the warm and fuzzy and stylish thing to do. It'll be because that'll be of necessity. This is a growing and evolving business, and we can no longer be just law enforcement. We've got to be a social service organization, which requires different kinds of skills and different kind of leadership. You know, I grew up like everybody else grew up, in the same kind of neighborhood, fearing police officers. In fact, in Phoenix, where there was less of us, when we used to walk down the street when we were kids, we had to get off the sidewalk when a police officer walked down the street because we were afraid of them, and they told us to get off the sidewalk or they work you over.
Oliver rose through the ranks of the Phoenix Police Department from beat cop to assistant chief. After 20 years, he moved on as director of drug policy in Memphis. Last July, he arrived in Pasadena as an outsider.
I am not Daryl Gates. This is not L.A. This is Pasadena, and I am Jerry Oliver. I want to make the police department, not a unfriendly place. As a matter of fact, I want to make it user-friendly. We now want to truly implement community policing in Pasadena in a way in which it's going to be effective, in a way in which all of you will sense that there is a change and that the quality of life will be impacted positively by what we're doing. When we had walking beat officers, what was good about that? What are some of the things that was good about those days?
The police officer knew the people in the neighborhoods that he patrolled, and they knew him. And it was almost like he was another part of the family.
Somebody over here? Somebody else had a hand?
Yeah, when I was a kid over in L.A., Tom Bradley used to spank our butts if we do things wrong.
That's right. In those days, they pull you in an alley.
Like its police force, the city of Pasadena is changing too. The stately mansions, the manicured lawns, the middle American pride have all merged with images of inner-city strife and neglect. It's a community in transition. The new police chief is collecting ideas and is getting an earful from all sides.
This ain't the community. This old white folks' community. This ain't my community. This ain't gonna help and better me as a youth. Growing up here, you gotta come to the hood and talk to us. To the hood. I'll never see you. I don't even know who you are. You supposed to represent Pasadena? Shit, it's dead.
I guess I'm one of those white do-gooders.
And I would like to ask this audience whether you can realistically expect safe streets and safe parks when we are a country where guns are so easily available, when we are a country where the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, and there are so many people who really have nothing to lose.
If it's dialogue that we want, if it's dialogue that people want to have with the police department or with me as a police chief, I'm willing to do it. And this just happened to be a forum. I didn't sponsor it. This was a forum that was by the ACLU. I was advised, actually, not to be here. Some legal folks said, you should not be here. I am here because I want to be here and I want to interact.
There's a little bit of disadvantage that Jerry Oliver was African American, because some people, unfortunately, as soon as they saw him, they said, aha, that was the reason he was appointed. And I resent that greatly because he is such an outstanding person.
Well, I will see what we can do. We, as you might know, today, real skinny after the weekend, because we had to let a lot of people off who had been 12 on and 12 off in it for the last few days.
I want him to operate the police department, assuming the responsibility as if he were the chief executive officer of the police department. Very few police chiefs are saying, I'm willing to take a look at how we spend our money, look at ways in which we can either redeploy or even cut back. He sees that as a challenge.
Can we get in? This is really a state-of-the-art municipal jail. There are no bars, as you will see in this jail. It is all glass and brick. And it is highly computerized. We could probably run this whole jail with a maximum of 3 people. Many times, images of jails in people's minds is that there's this extremely grungy, dungy, grimy place that they throw you into, and that awful things will happen to you. If the disease don't get you, then the other bad guys will. And that is not the case here in our jail, as you will see.
Well, isn't that the point of jails, though? Isn't there punishment involved instead of so-called luxury?
Well, this is not luxurious, because if you hear when the doors clink and you are locked in, it is no fun. But there's no reason why it has to be a dungeon. We want you to understand that this is not a trial, that decisions have already been made about your compliance or culpability in this matter.
This is a disciplinary hearing for a police employee where Jerry Oliver does more than sit in judgment. Actually, he serves as a counselor, a peer, and sometimes even a friend.
I'm just sensing that P.A. Higgins needs, for lack of a better term, maybe a wake-up call. I mean, it seems like her head may be elsewhere sometimes.
When I received the recommendation of 2 days suspension without pay, I felt it was an appropriate way of getting Tanya's attention after what might appear to be a pattern of inattention.
I'm trying to get a sense about you, the individual employee, as to how important this position is to you. How can we get you back on board, get you back into your position, get you back being a productive employee? I am for providing the best possible police services to the community with the best possible people. And sometimes those people inside the organization are just as much of a detriment as some of the bad guys outside the organizations.
Is the city of Pasadena in a position to start taking some of the drug homes?
And that's a good question. We are in a position to. Looks like people are in here.
Yeah, people do come in here. They use it for drugs on the weekend. They drink here. And it's not a positive sign for the community. So that's one of the reasons why we'd like to see it demolished.
I don't see myself just as the police chief. I see myself, 1, as a community leader, and 2, as the CEO of a large corporate entity within this community. How you doing? Good. Jerry Oliver.
Jerry, our police chief?
Oh, hello, sir.
How you doing?
Fine, doing great. Everything's fine.
Good.
This is our police chief?
If you had to fashion a police department yourself, if you had the power to actually fashion a police department that would work cooperatively with the citizenry, what would be some of the dimensions, the elements that you'd like to see? What would you like to see the police department actually doing that they do not do now?
This gang-banging trip is getting worse. It's not getting better. You can keep busting people. Look at the county jail. They're building more modules now. It's a huge facility they're building down there. More prisons. They're going to lock up more people. That's what they're going to do. Well, how do we stop this? We got to stop this.
I feel at the moment that this gunshot went off, and it happened so many times, I feel just like you feel. The doggone it, we're failing. We are failing in this society. We're failing, and we're failing at a rapid rate because every time a black or a Latino kid hits the dust face down and they have to cut their clothes off of them, all of us has failed.
I notice in most communities, most well-to-do communities, people seem to have an idea that the police are here to serve. But most of the people out of our community, we are scared of the police. You know, it's just straight out. We tend to be afraid of the police.
Let me tell you about fearing the police. And it is something that all of us have. You know, when I'm driving down the freeway, when I'm outside of Pasadena, and I'm driving down the freeway and a black and white get in the back of me, I slow up like everybody else, you know, and start checking the speedometer and finding out what's going on. So the point I'm trying to make is break down some of those artificial barriers, break down some of those ideas about how the police department is going to behave. And the best way for us to do that is to behave in non-predictable ways. Not behave in the way in which police officers have always traditionally behaved or reacted. Try to be different, try to be more humanistic, try to be more understanding, understand more about the culture. And you know, the only way we can do that is to have us inside writing the policies, changing it. We tried it from the outside. We used to throw rocks at the police department. It didn't make no difference. They just built stronger buildings. The way in which you change it from the inside out, and that's what we're doing.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Lawrence M. Powell, find the defendant Timothy E. Wind, find the defendant Theodore J. Brasino, find the defendant Stacy C. Kuhn, not guilty of the crime of assault by force likely to produce great bodily injury and with a deadly weapon.
Something like this and its outcome gives the impression that, to some, that police officers are above the law, that they don't respect the law, and that's just not the case.
Santa Monica Police Chief James Butts believes the not guilty verdicts in the police beating of Rodney King makes his job more difficult.
You grab a little bit of the chain link, fellas. Just real easy. So what are you doing over here?
Huh?
What are you doing over here?
We're just kicking it. We're not doing nothing wrong.
Butts says today's police work involves building bridges with the community, earning trust, even with gangs.
How old are you now?
19. Turn 20 this year.
What do you want to do with your life?
I work, man. I have plans.
Well, that's good. Well, where do you work?
James Butts is a breed of police chief who's more at home on the street rather than behind a desk, who prefers wearing a uniform rather than a suit.
We're pulling for inspection.
There seems to be more commonality with the chief. He's a person who's younger and more athletic and probably shares some of the same interests that the younger employee shares, which is probably 85% of the people here are probably within striking range of his age.
We have our 4 goals for 92-93, and we're talking about gang violence, armed robbery, auto theft. The thought of having to talk in front of a lot of people had always bothered me. I didn't think I could be a police officer because, again, I was pretty shy and reserved. But after about a year working as a police officer, I felt I grew a lot as a person. I found the position fascinating because here I was just 21 years old and going around helping people with their problems. I really liked that aspect of the job.
At the age of 37, Butts came to Santa Monica with years of experience, 18 years with the Inglewood Police Department, holding command positions in every specialized assignment within the department, including 12 years with the Special Weapons and Tactics Team. Last September, Butts was appointed by the city manager as Santa Monica's first black police chief.
I don't think people identify with him as a black man. I don't think that's an issue. I think they're looking beyond the fact that beyond his skin color. I have to keep pointing back to just his attitude, his subservient attitude, his respect for other people, his caring attitude. his ability to see the value of each employee. You know, a minute ago, a new officer was walking by, and the chief says, "Phil, who is that guy?" I said, "Well, that's Todd Taylor. He's a brand new officer." And he ran after the officer to meet the guy. So, I mean, he wants to make it a family unit.
Now, wait a minute. Are you related to Ski?
Oh, yeah, in a big way. I'm his son.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So now I got two Ligurskis
That's
working
right.
here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, welcome aboard.
Thanks.
All
Nice
right.
to meet you, finally.
Good to meet you.
Good.
He's a cop's cop. And if you're out there and you're in trouble and you need somebody to back you up and he's on the air, he's coming out there.
FD2, are you available to assistance?
I keep a hands-on, eyes-on feel for what's happening in the community in terms of crime, in terms of conditions, so that I can manage more effectively.
I've always had an idea of chief administrators or administrators, period, of being people that sit in offices and make policy. And this guy isn't a sit in the office and make policy kind of person. He knows what's going on in the street.
Well, I'm an LA product. We moved into a home in the area of Florence and Van Ness, which is in the south central Los Angeles area, Crenshaw district. As a teenager, driving through a neighborhood near home, and the officers were stopping myself and my brother because they said there had been burglaries in the area, and they wanted to know who we were and that we fit the description of some potential burglars. The only thing that left a raw taste in my mouth was that when the contact was over, they gave the short, curt explanation, but there wasn't a, "Hey, sorry, we detained you, and you know, we appreciated your cooperation." I think that would have made it feel a lot better. But that's why it's so important to me how police officers treat people, because I know from experience that people can accept a lot as long as it's explained to them what the reason is for the contact or the intervention, and then secondly, if you've delayed them or unnecessarily, or if you've delayed them with necessity, but if you apologize afterward, they can accept it.
Well, where I go, to all the places we used to go, and when I see all the people we used to know.
But this is 3rd Street. It's the closest thing to Disneyland without driving to Anaheim.
And it seems a world away from problems. But Santa Monica is not Disneyland, and policing it requires an understanding of the city's politics in transition. From a city known for its liberal, socially conscious thinking, to a town now taking a harsher stance on crime.
This park had developed a county-wide reputation as a place to come to buy and to sell narcotics, particularly crack cocaine.
That is, until Butts led a cleanup of Palisades Park, making more than 700 drug arrests within the first few months of his arrival. Besides drugs, Butts is grappling with a major homeless problem. A controversial new law bans sleeping or camping out in public places like parks. The city attorney refuses to prosecute such cases because of his view that homeless people have no alternative. As the chief enforcer of the law, Butts found himself in the middle of a politically sensitive issue. Though his stand won him popular support, Butts learned a valuable lesson.
The key in being a police chief in Santa Monica or any place else is to be politically astute, but be apolitical as a person.
For Chief Butts, being politically astute means being sensitive and responsive to all segments of the community. In these turbulent times, new top cops like James Butts believe today's police chief can no longer practice the old guard ways.
I believe that police departments for so many years have been so caught up in the paramilitary structure of the organization. In some ways, the organizations either lost or never had the sensitivity for people's feelings. And if you work in a total strict top-down organization, if you're told everything to do, if you don't have a right to feedback, if you don't have input into decisions, then you internalize that culture and you carry it out to the field. I was so depressed and sickened to watch the events as they unfolded from 5:30 p.m. Wednesday night on through the weekend, because that's everything that I identify with. That's where I grew up. The areas that were impacted are places that I visited, that I saw on a daily basis, and now they're gone. And I also feel very bad because as I grew up, we didn't have major markets in the area. We didn't have some of the major businesses that were persuaded to come into the area. And to watch my neighborhood being set back tens of years with questionable prospects for rebuilding, it's really depressing and saddening.
It's a complicated, disturbing picture to sort out. How does a police chief, an African American, a father, explain the madness to his children?
I teach my children that there are things in life that aren't going to come out quite the way you think they should be. They're not going to always be fair, but you look for justice in the overall, in the long run, and you work towards justice. And that's the way they accept it, as this is an incident that didn't quite come out the way that maybe we thought it would, but you go on from there.
Marching orders for the Los Angeles Police Department's rank and file will soon come from a new leader. Willie Williams, the former Philadelphia Police Commissioner, will take charge at the end of June. He's already making his rounds, visiting police precincts and fellow officers.
How are you? We'll take a quick stop. I'll come back without the cameras another day.
Williams coming to Los Angeles marks another distinction. According to the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, there are only 7 black police chiefs west of the Mississippi, all of them located in California, a majority of them, 4, currently lead departments in Southern California. All are first-time police chiefs.
Making me feel at home.
Long before the Christopher Commission recommended community-based policing for Los Angeles, Williams had put it in place in Philadelphia.
You don't bring in Philadelphia, New York, or Houston's model to Los Angeles. You sit down and take what's best from those cities, what the best brains here in the city come up with, and then you work. There's nothing to say that many stations, crime prevention officers, neighborhood advisory councils cannot work here in Los Angeles, and that's going to be part of the process over the next few months to get out and meet and talk with the officers, talk with the citizens, see what it is they want, and get them involved in the decision-making process.
Williams also brings with him a reputation of being quick to discipline officers accused of brutality and misconduct, but he's earned his highest marks for good public relations and accessibility. He knows he has a big job ahead of him.
I ask for your support. I ask for your assistance in the weeks and the months ahead. Collectively, I am sure that our goal must be to take an already great police department and make the Los Angeles Police Department's pride shine even brighter.